Hi everyone, we'll start the session in another 5 minutes.
This meeting is being recorded.
Hi everyone, welcome to today's session. Thank you for joining in. My name is Mahima and I'll be your host for the session. Before we go ahead, I would request everyone to go on mute. And in case you have any queries during the session, you can unmute yourself and ask, or you can use the chat box for the same. Okay, also, I would request you all not to turn on your video cameras during the session. Let me quickly take you through Techcanvass first. Techcanvass is an IT certifications training organization for professionals, and we help them crack their certification exams in the first attempt. We are IIB endorsed and PMI authorized training partners. We offer certification trainings for courses like CBAP, ECBA, CCBA, Agile, Business Data Analysis, Project Management,
iPhone was so
and
expensive.
more. Okay. We have with us Anusha today, who is a PMP certified professional. And I would request Anusha to take this session ahead.
Then how do you get it?
in. Sorry, Rizu, are you saying something? Anusha, you can take forward.
Yep, thank you, Mahima. Guys, can you hear me? Mahima, can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible.
All right. Thank you, Mahima. All right, to just give you an overview of what I do and a bit of an introduction, guys, I am Anusha Mohan. I'm a PMP, CAPM, ITIL, and ISM certified personal. I carry an experience of close to 7 years, having worked with IT giants, mostly into infrastructure, storage, and consulting. Currently, I'm working as a senior program manager in one of the organization. So that's pretty much about me. Let me just quickly share my screen and we'll go through what we are supposed to do today. All right. Okay, so to start with, I'm pretty sure you guys must be aware of the new PMP norms or the new changes which are made in PMP exam. To start with, as compared to the previous syllabus, this time PMP has, or PMI, I'm sorry, has come up with three domains. One is people, the other one is process, and the third one is business improvement, environment. I'm sorry. So all these three compromised together will be the new syllabus for PMP exam. Going forward, there will be 180 questions. Previously, the exam used to have 200 questions and 230 minutes to complete the exam. There will be one additional break this time, so a total of 10 minutes break. And this time the question will be a combination of multiple choice, multiple response, matching, hot areas, or limited fill in the blanks. So that is the new set of rules that PMI has launched in terms of PMP exam. Quickly going through the domain-wise test. So today's webinar is all about solving questions together. So I would need you guys to maybe, give me answers around what can be a particular, what can be an answer to a particular question, and why do you think the answer is that particular option. So I'm just going to start with people domain first. So this is how the Techcanvass portal looks like, and this is. Sorry guys, can you be on mute? That's the background.
Yeah, Anusha, just 1 second, let me check.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how the portal looks like, and this is how you're going to get questions. You get to select the answers and see where you stand. So I'm just going to quickly start with the questions now. So to start with, there's one question which says, during the stand-up meeting, your team member, Alia, raises an impediment she's facing, stating that she's struggling with unexpected notification issues. In order to address the impediment, you invite your team to collaborate with Alia using the following techniques. So now these are the techniques which you will use to understand what is the issue and how the team can collaborate. So the first option is pairing, swarming, and mobbing. The second option is pairing, swarming, and brainstorming. The third option is pairing, mobbing, and refactoring. The fourth option is pairing, brainstorming, and refactoring again. So any idea what can be the answer to this question? Anybody over the chat? Okay, I don't see anybody. Guys, can we just, maybe probably go through it question again and you guys can think of the option. Okay, so just to give you an overview, pairing, swarming, and mobbing, what are these? Swarming is nothing but it has a work in progress. So here the work in progress limit of 1, where the team collaborates to get the one item to be done. That's swamping. Sorry, swarming. Now the mobbing. Mobbing is nothing but again a work in progress limit of 1, where the entire team works but with one keyboard. Now, pairing is when two people and one keyboard, often known as work in progress limit of 1. So, any idea what can be the answer to this? Brainstorming, we all know, is just team work together and figure out a solution. Refactoring is nothing but considering what was the situation and how we are going to manage the situation. So again, going back to the question, the idea here to crack the PMP exam is go through the question again and understand what can be the answer to the question. So during this stand-up meeting, your team member Alia raises an impediment she is facing, stating that she is struggling with unexpected notifications issues. In order to address the impediment, you invite your team to collaborate with Alia using the following techniques. Now you're inviting your whole team to collaborate with Alia here. Okay. So as per our understanding and the types of work in progress techniques, pairing, swarming, and mobbing should be the one because here the team collaborates together. But one question here. Why can't it be brainstorming or why can't it be refactoring? So it can be brainstorming as well because the team is going to collaborate together and understand why it's not why the issue is occurring. Or it can be refactoring as well. So this is a question from Agile. I'm just going to click on this one and see what the answer is. Guys, you have got 1 minute. Do you want to probably think of an answer here or give me an option D? According to Soumita, it's D. Pairing, brainstorming, and refactoring can be. Anybody else? Okay, let's see what's the answer. All right. So the answer is A. Now, why the answer is A? Because in Agile, there are only 3 techniques, which in turn can be a technique wherein the collaboration is required. And here, if you can see, the answer lies in the question. You invite your team to collaborate. So if you're inviting your team to collaborate, there's no way the team can work on something which is apart from the techniques the Agile follows. So Agile as a working technique follows only 3 techniques, which is swarming, mobbing, and pairing. So Agile team always use these 3 pairing, swarming, and mobbing techniques whenever it comes to collaboration. Just remember this, guys. You get any question of this sort when it comes to Agile techniques of collaboration, it has to be only 3 techniques, which is pairing, swarming, and mobbing. Brainstorming can come, but mostly brainstorming is done when we are working on a model, which is more in terms of waterfall, or more in terms of where we know what is the end result and we know what is the expected issue or risk. All right, moving on to the next question. And I'm just going to walk you through some random questions so that you guys know. I'm sorry. Okay. Just opening another. So this is how the Techcanvass, this looks like. Let me just open another one for you guys. Okay. All right. So let's go with process domain and see what all questions do we have in process. Do we want to check some random questions first? Okay. Let's look at the second one. You have recently joined as a project manager in a coffee manufacturing plant. One of your first projects is to install an instant coffee powder packing machine. You're developing a project charter during the initiation stage of the project. Which of the following should be documented before developing the project charter? Business case, scope baseline, cost baseline, or requirement management plan. So let's see what exactly is the project charter first. I'm assuming you guys must be knowing, but giving you an information, a project charter is a formal, typically short document that describes your project in its entirely, like what you're going to do in the project, what will be the objectives, how you're going to manage those objectives. And the thing is, the three main part for a project charter is the objective, scope, and responsibilities. Okay. So now going back to the question, what is that one thing which you will do before the project charter? Okay. Now going to the options. Let's go with the last option first, requirement management plan. When it comes to planning or any sort of plan, it comes to a planning phase, right? And planning phase is nothing but the second phase of the project. So that means the option 4 is out of the park. So Amita, I can see the answer A from your end. Moving on to the cost baseline or scope baseline. Now, I think you guys must be knowing what exactly is cost baseline. Cost baseline is nothing but an authorized spending plan across the life cycle of the project. So now, this is something which can be an answer. Because as per my understanding, if I am studying PMP and the definition says for a cost baseline that it is an authorized spending plan. So I might have a budget for a project just in case. Now moving on to the scope baseline. Scope baseline again is nothing but how much scope is approved, or how it is basically this approved version of your project scope, which is documented in a scope statement or a work breakdown structure or a work breakdown dictionary. So this is also out of the park because work breakdown structure and work breakdown dictionary comes into the picture once we have a project in hand. And the first one is business case. Now, business case is something that we develop a business case and then only we will know that we are supposed to get a new project or we are supposed to start a new project. So if in case, if we have to select an option, according to Somita, the option is A, which is business case. Now, it can be cost baseline, just as per my understanding, because cost baseline is something which is an approved cost. Might be when the business knows that I'm about to get a project, they will give me a cost intact to that as well. So let's check what the answer is for this question. Sachin, a D cannot be the answer for that question. All right. So the answer is A, which is business case. Thank you, Somita. Sachin, I tell you why the D is not the answer here. Because as I said, requirement management plan. When we are about to make a plan, or we have a plan in hand, or we have already performed the requirement gathering, all that process comes in planning phase of the project. So there's no way I will have a project charter pre-planning phase. It has to be, post-planning phase. It has to be before the planning. And why A is correct and not the C option, which is cost baseline? Because cost baseline is nothing but approved cost. Now, when will you approve a cost? When you have done a planning around that particular project. When you do not have the planning around that particular project, you will not know what will be the budget of that project. So that is why cost baseline cannot be the answer. So the answer here is business case. So Amita, 1 point to you. All right. I'm sorry, let me open that again. That's where I get confused most of the time. All right. Let's take one from business environment. And guys, just to give you an overview here again, this percentage here basically means that 42% of the questions in total will be from people domain, 50% from process, and 8% from business environment. So we'll focus on these two a lot. And yes, and business environment is something which we need to focus on as well. All right, let's take this question. And I want you guys to give me an answer. Maybe think around it. I'll give you a minute time there. You are the newly joined project manager of an automobile manufacturing company. Senior management has involved you in the preparation of the project charter for their prestigious in-house fuel-efficient car project. What should you do to know the marketplace conditions and current industry standards? All right, so the option here is examine the historical information and lesson learned repository, review the business case, review the enterprise environmental factors external to the organization, or review the enterprise environmental factors internal to the organization. Guys, the question is there on the screen. Do you think that, you guys think if there's the correct option and you are correct there? I see Soumita saying C. Anybody else? Sachin also says C. Anybody else, guys? All right. So going back to the question again. You are a newly joined project manager of an automobile manufacturing company. Senior management has involved you in the preparation of the project charter for their prestigious in-house fuel-efficient car project. What should you do to know the marketplace condition and current industry standards? Now, let's see, examine the historical information. Historical information of your previous project, maybe. But are we sure that the historical information is something which is same as what we are doing in the current project? And lesson learned repository, which is again dicey because maybe the lesson learned on that particular project is not useful in the given in-house fuel efficient car project. I'm just going through the options and giving you a thought process so that you might understand what can be the answer here. Review the business case. Business case review can be a good idea, but it is not going to give me an understanding of the marketplace condition or current industry standards. Now, review the enterprise environmental factors external to the organization, or review the enterprise environmental factors internal to the organization. So let's see what is enterprise environmental factors. So this is nothing but internal or external. So these are something wherein the environment, before we discuss the project, the environment is understood by the enterprise environmental factors. When I say environment, that is nothing but related to the world, the impact of human activity or any condition or any culture or any individual, people, institution, organizations. It can be anything around you. Okay. For example, if you are working for a project which has oil or gas supply, as a project. Let's say if you're working for a firm which is more into producing oil or producing gas. So for you, the environmental factors will be maybe weather or maybe location or maybe what are the safety measures, all of that. Now, what is the difference between internal and external? I'll give you some example of external. External enterprise environmental factors are nothing but government regulations or market conditions or external political conditions or industry standards or legal restrictions. While the internal ones are more into the organizational culture or type of organizational structure or internal political conditions or resources or infrastructure. So now here, what should you do to know the marketplace condition and current industry standards when we are looking into current industry standards? Assuming what Somita and Sachin said C, let's see what can be the answer for this one. All right. Somita, 2 points to you and Sachin, 1 point to you. So the answer here is enterprise environmental factors external to the organization. As I said, here the question itself, guys, you just have to go through the question again and again to get that hint for your answer. Here it says, what should you do to know the marketplace condition and current industry standard? You cannot get the marketplace condition or current industry standard by looking at the historical information or lesson learned or by looking at the business case. Business case is something which can help you with scoping or with requirement, but not with the industry standards. Now, the only option left with us is external or internal. As I said, external is more into the lines of what is happening around the world, and internal is more into the lines of what is happening in that particular organization. Hence, the answer here is C, which is review the enterprise environmental factors to the organization. All right. Moving on to the next question. Oops, sorry. We do have people coming in. My performance, I'll just open up. Sorry, I'm not able to go back again and again, so I'm just opening another tabs here. Okay, all right. So moving on to the people domain again. All right, this is something wherein we have to look into the variance. And yes, guys, you will get such kind of questions wherein you have to click on any options here. All right, let's take this one. In your project, two team members have conflict and they are arguing with each other. This situation is reducing the morale of the project. What will the project manager do next? Simple question. There is a situation wherein you have got two people who are arguing because of some or the other thing. and what should be the, what should be a way out for that particular project. Now the options is take disciplinary action, talk to both team members and solve the problem, use expert judgment, inform functional managers. So to start with, can anybody tell me, Soumita, Sachin, thank you for the answer, but can anybody tell me what are the 5 techniques for the conflicts? What are the 5 techniques? You can just write it down in the chat if you guys know it. Anybody? Or you can just unmute and say it loud. All right, let me tell you. So the 5 techniques for any sort of conflict is, the first one is withdraw or avoid. The second one is smooth or accommodate. The third one is compromise or reconcile. Fourth one is force or direct. Fifth one is collaborate or problem solving. So, as the name suggests, withdraw or avoid is something wherein individual involved in the conflict are not influential stakeholders. So we just give them time, and these are the kind of techniques. While accommodate is somewhere wherein we accommodate the request and see what can be done and understand what are the advantages and disadvantages. While compromise is something wherein somebody has to understand and all parties involved need to win. Wherein force or direct is wherein you give the order and you come up with a quick solution as a project manager. And collaborate or problem solving is wherein you sit with the team, understand what the issue is, and get a resolution around that. So here, if you can see, take disciplinary action. It is more into the lines of forcing, if we look into it this way. Talk to both team members and solve the problem. This is more into the lines of collaborating or problem solving. Use expert judgment. Expert judgment is mostly into the lines of when we accommodate or when we see who and which stakeholder can compromise a bit. And inform functional manager, that is again going back to the manager, and it's again into the form of order, which is force. So let's see what can be the answer. According to Soumita and Sachin, B is the answer. Talk to both team members and solve the problem, which looks the perfect answer to me as well, because disciplinary action in a very first go might not be the solution to this. Use expert judgment can be an answer as well. Why? Because I'm actually going back to a senior resource or going back to a senior project manager and looking for an answer or guidance to it. Or inform functional manager. Inform functional manager can also be an answer, which in turn can be an escalation. So let's see what is the answer for this question. Where did I go? I'm sorry. This is the one which I'm sorry, I'm just getting the answer here. I think I have checked on the wrong one. It was people domain, right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, why is it not showing up then? Maima, any idea why is it not showing up? Because I see only 2 people domain here.
Sorry, Anusha, were you saying something?
Yeah, I see only 2 people domain here, so I'm worried where exactly is the third one gone.
I think I need to check with the technical team.
Okay, let me check. I think yeah, then I think I've got the, yeah, sorry. It was my mistake. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the answer here is B. Somita, you're going good. And Sachin, you as well. So in your project, two team members have conflict. The answer to this question is talk to both team members and solve the problem, because this is the resolving technique wherein we know that we will have a collaborative approach and nobody is going to force somebody or accommodate any issue or compromise on anything. So the project manager should actually be talking to the team member. Guys, can you So, project manager is essentially or should be talking to the team members and understand the problem and resolve it with an approach of collaborating together. Okay, so collaborate or problem solve approach should be your first approach when it comes to any conflict in the team. So, as per PMBOK, conflict should be addressed early and usually in private using a direct or collaborative approach, which is nothing but the technique which I was referring to, collaborate or problem solve. So, this makes life easy as a project manager and for the team members as well, because they know that they are being heard if there's any issue in the team. So that's why always try and go for collaborate or problem solve technique first when it comes to conflicts. All right, going back to the questions again, which might take a minute of your time. Okay, let's go with the process. We can try this one as well. Let's try with the diagrams and all. Okay, so Rio is a project manager for an iOS app development project with Apple. He is currently developing the scope. He is currently developing the scope for a recent upgrade proposal for Apple Maps. He is in the collect requirement phase of the project, and he is using the tool below to visually depict a product scope by showing interactions between business and other system, what it is called. So let's see with the options. So affinity diagram, mind map, content diagram, internal or external user diagram. So what is an affinity diagram? So an affinity diagram is nothing but a diagram which organizes a large number of ideas into their natural relationship. Okay, so it is the organized output from a brainstorming session. So now if you can see here, the question says he is in the collect requirement phase of the project and he is using the tool below to visually depict a product scope by showing interaction between business and other systems. And what does affinity diagram does? Organizes a large number of ideas into their natural relationship. Now let's see what is mind map. Mind map is nothing but let's take an example. It's basically a tool. Okay, if you guys have not heard about it, it's a tool. It's a very effective tool for taking information from your brain and putting it on paper for a variety of reasons. So basically nothing but I know that there is this and this requirement. I'm going to put down on a piece of paper and then scribble around it. That's mind map. That's what you do in mind mapping. So affinity diagram, again, large number of ideas into natural relationship. Mind map is nothing but tool wherein we are taking information and putting it in a form, in a paper. Now, what is context diagram? Context diagram is again another tool that depict the scope of the product, showing the business systems and how it relates and interacts with the other system as well. So context diagram is nothing but a visual tool which is going to show you how the scope of the product, showing the business system and how it relates and interacts with each other. And the internal and external user diagram is nothing but how the internal and external users come together. It's a picture of the system, the use cases, the stakeholders, everything put together and see where the relationship lies. So according to Soumita, the answer is C. According to me, the answer is C, because it looks like a context diagram wherein, and again, it's nothing but a visual tool that depict the scope of the product, showing the business system and how it relates and interacts with the other system as well. So if you can see the question, he is in the collect requirement phase of the project, and he is using the tool below to visually depict a product scope by showing interaction between business and other systems. Let's see what can be the answer to this question. The correct answer is C. As I said, context diagram is something which is going to depict the scope of the product. So what they are going to show here is basically how in a business system things are related to each other. So if you can see in this diagram, this is nothing but they are going to show the interaction between the business and the other system. And that is exactly what Rio was looking for in his iOS app development project. So hence the answer is C, context diagram. Guys, let me know if you guys have any questions here. All right, let's take another question. We just spoke about the conflict, types of conflict resolution technique. So I might skip this one. Let's take a difficult one. Yes, it looks like a difficult one because it says best action. So you're assigned as a project manager to design and develop a ticketing system. You have been holding daily stand-up meetings during a project's iteration. There are a few team members who are missing during the last 3 meetings because they are running tests regarding the design. The test will most likely continue for some more days. What will be your best action to deal with a situation like this? It's a very daily, day-to-day situation which a project manager come across. Now there are 4 options to it. Wait for everyone to join. Start the meeting once everybody is present. Second, change the time slot of the meeting to a later time. Third, cancel the meeting. Instead, send email communication. Fourth, start the meeting at different time every day. Any guesses here? Now it says, what will be your best action? So what you want to do as a project manager, which you think will accommodate all the people at the same time. So starting the meeting every day on a different time is not going to be a solution, according to me. So we're left with 3 options here. Cancel the meeting, instead send email communication, change the time slot of the meeting to a later time, wait for everyone to join, start the meeting once everybody is present. So wait for everyone to join or start the meeting once everybody is present. But the question itself says there are few team members who are missing during the last 3 meetings because they are running tests regarding the design. So if they are running tests regarding the design, as it is, if we wait for an hour, they are not going to come and get onto the meeting. Now, change the time slot of the meeting to a later time. This is something which can be done easily. I mean, you go back to the team members and ask for a time. Cancel the meeting, instead send email communication. This is also something which we can do, but the question arises, will email communication be a satisfactory move? Will we get all the information through an email communication? We can if we write email in a crisp manner. So let's see what can be the answer to this question. Sorry. And Somita, I know you said B. All right. So the correct answer is B. Can change the time slot of the meeting to a later time, because it is the best approach you can follow right now when you know that the team is occupied while they are working on a project. They're also running tests regarding a design. So this is the best approach you can do, because starting the meeting at different time every day is not something which you would want to do. Or cancel the meeting, instead send email communication. You can do that, but the only issue that comes up is that you will not be able to provide all the possible information to the team, or email get lost in the inboxes. So wait for everyone to join. As I said, we cannot wait for everybody to join. So this is something which is also going to be not going to be an option. So the only one which is left is change the time slot of the meeting to a later time. All right. So I'm just going to give you guys, 10 minutes to ask any questions if you have. Guys, do you have any questions? Okay. So I'm just going to go back and start with another question. Sorry. All right. Taking another one. Lot of conflict resolution. Okay. Tom is a project manager for bridge construction since 20 years. Nowadays, his company has grown that has a branch located in UK. Unfortunately, one of the projects being executed in this branch is not going well and emerges a decision from senior management to transfer Tom to UK in order to take care of this project. Which of the following option describes the power Tom will play in this project? So there's this bridge construction project manager who's working with a company. Company started another branch in a different location, and turns out to be they are not getting a lot of profit, so they have asked Tom to go there and work on that particular project. So now what Tom will be playing the role, as in what role he'll be playing in that particular project. So to start with, we have few options: expert, referent, positional, situational. So what is expert, or who is an expert? An expert is somebody who has a good judgment making or skills, or good judgment based on skills or expertise or knowledge in a particular area. So that's what is known as expert. So can Tom be an expert when it comes to going to UK and working on that particular project? Can be. What is referent? Referent is nothing but the ability to gain support because the project manager is working on a particular project and he will get the support from the team, and he can and from the organization, and he can work around a different project in UK. That's a referent. Positional is nothing but how a project manager works on a particular project, what position he holds, what is the formal authority he holds. So that's being positional. Situational, again, is dealing with a particular situation. So let's say if the situation arises, I'm supposed to go there and work on that particular project and come back. That's the kind of power I will have when it comes to situational power. So according to Somita, the answer is A, which is expert. All right. Any answers, guys? You guys want to give it a try? Anybody? Okay, D, situation. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So just to let you guys know, do you guys know what are the possible powers a project manager has? So to start with, expert, again, nothing but you know it refers to making a judgment based on skill, expertise, or specialized knowledge. A referent, when a project manager casually mentioning to the team for a meeting, let's say, that's an example. So basically, you associate yourself with people in power and show the team that they stand to benefit by this. That's a referent power. Okay, let's say I'm replacing Tom here in this question. So if I'm going to UK, am I actually showing people that I'm associated with the power and that the team will get benefit of it? No, that's not the case. What about positional? Positional is Positional power is a type of power where you have when you have a specific rank or title in an organization. So it's basically something which comes up with a legitimate power. It's a formal power to act in the organization. Do I have the formal power to act in this organization? No. This company has grown that has a branch located in UK. Unfortunately, one of the project being executed in the branch is not going well and emerges a decision from senior management. So do we think so that I have that power? No, I do not. I do not believe I have that power. What is situational power? So situational power is also known as let me put it across in a way, it's a main lead role in a movie. So there are times when more than once in any project there are a lot of crises, and this power comes from rescuing the team or the project or the organization from such crisis. So if we juggle between these options, referent is something which is out of the league, positional is something which is out of the league. We are only left with expert and situational here. Expert because Tom is an expert and he has been working, because it says project manager for bridge construction since 20 years. So it can be the case wherein Tom has good amount of experience. He's an expert. And the second option which we are left with is situational one. Reason being, we are the ones, or I'm sorry, Tom is the one who is rescuing the UK team with that particular project wherein they are not doing good. So let's see what is the answer for this one. All right, the answer is D. Why not A? Because the Tom is going to be a project manager there. He's not just going to give the advice or not just going to give his expert judgment to the team. It's basically him solving that particular situation by being the hero. As I said, the lead role in a movie. So he is the hero of that particular organization because he's going to UK and getting the project done. So that's why the answer is situational, which is option D. I think Naveen, Hari, Somita, you guys are right there. All right. I think this is the end. I'm just going to give you guys 5 minutes to, if you guys have any questions around PMP or anything you guys want to discuss, or the options which we selected in the questions, anything you guys want to discuss.
Hi Anusha, this is Shamata.
Yes.
This was a tricky question. I mean, I gave the option, and then when you started explaining, I could figure it out that it was wrong. So, quick question: which would you be able to tell me, which chapter, gives this clarification of this power/positions of project manager for us to understand? Like I know it falls under the people part of it, but all the areas of project management, like right, scope management, time management, stakeholder management, like which chapter will help us to give an understanding of the of this question, or say for example what a project manager can do and cannot do.
All right. So it is in the 6th edition in PMBOK, wherein I am not sure which chapter this particular form of powers are mentioned, but more into the lines of, as per my knowledge, more into the lines of organization or matrix and all of that. That's where you can find this. There are 14 powers for a project manager. I do not have the PMBOK open. It says the answer here says it's 6th edition, page 63. You can just go back and see which chapter it is. But as per my understanding, there are 14 powers of a project manager, and all the 14s are available in that PMBOK 6th edition.
Okay, thanks, Anusha.
I will not be able to tell you the exact chapter. I'm really sorry.
No worries, no worries. I'll go and check. Anyway, the page number is given, so I'll go back and check. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions, guys?
Anusha, hi, this is Naveen here. Anusha, in terms of preparation for the exams, what guide or what book would you best recommend for referring to?
Go for PMBOK. Do not think of anything else. Go for PMBOK. Read it thoroughly. Then, if you want to really go ahead and check your knowledge of what you have understood, you can solve questions in Rita Malkahi. So read or clear your concept through PMBOK. If you want to do questions and if you want to understand where your knowledge lies, you can go for Rita Malkahi.
All right. So the best way of buying the PMBOK guide would be through the PMM membership, right?
Yeah, that's there. But if I'm not wrong, Mahima, does Techcanvass also provide a PMBOK for the users?
Anusha, I need to check with the sales team.
Okay, no problem.
If they have a question regarding that, they can reach out to info@techcanvass. They'll clear all their doubts.
Okay. So
Actually, I'll do that because I've just enrolled for my class last week, and you have coordinator Ms. Naji, so I'll confirm with her then. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. All right, we have got 1 minute left. Any more questions? Anything you guys want to discuss? I know you all are PMP aspirants. Anything you want to know about PMP? PMP is not a tough exam. The only thing you have to do is go through the question again and again. Because what I have understood while I was giving PMP and while I was studying for PMP, the best thing is go through the question, because most of the time you will have the hint in the question itself. All you have to do is maybe read the question 2 or 3 times and then figure out the best possible answer to this. As Soumita said, in this case, in this question particularly, it was a bit tricky because most of us were, if I would have been at your place, yes, A and D were the two options wherein I would have been confused. But the only the only reason I can get to the answer D is because it says that Tom is going to UK and getting the project done. So it's not that he's just providing the judgment, he is going to be the project manager there. So that's how you have to figure out the answer in your in your head and give the solution or give the or check on that particular option. All right, I think that is it. Mahima, can you take this from here, please?
Okay, then we are good to wrap up. Thank you everyone for joining in.
All right, guys, thank you and best of luck to you all.
Thank you, Anusha. Thank you, Mahima. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.